Welcome in, everybody. Long time no see since Fancie's Fables. Let me move everybody around here. I was... Why does it do that? Every time. It's like... Boom. I did it. Oh, wait, nope. Nope. Temin and Phoebe. Hold on. Hold on. I got this. I got this. I got this. Did I do it? I did it. Now we're good. Welcome in, everybody, to Fancie's Fables, episode 22 of End of Eras. How y'all doing today?
Chilling.
Like villains.
Jinx!
Double jinx.
Double jinx!
And this is where the campaign takes a dark turn.
Chilling like a villain, like rah rah.
We jinxed the campaign.
We all become villains.
You understood what that was from.
I honestly cannot provide you a source. I'm
Nope,
sorry.
nope, but I love the energy.
Oh no, I was thinking of like the song from KDA, Villain.
Hey! Now I
And,
know.
she goes to the rap and she was like chilling like a villain. Da, da, da. So
And copyrighted.
that's okay. We'll just.
DMC my my Twitch channel. It's good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I said. Krillin.
Ooh. Chilling like a Krillin with my 6-dotted head. All right.
EBZ rap.
Yeah, see.
Chilling
Yeah,
like a
there you go.
Krillin just means we're dead.
Which
Yeah.
time?
All of the times.
you
One for
know-
each of us.
Actually,
You know why-
specifically the time in GT when he couldn't come back anymore. And he
But
had
you know
lived
why?
a good life, and he had hair. He finally had hair.
I was gonna say, is that the one where we had hair?
Oh man, that was. I just want to forget that. That's so weird.
This is no longer a D&D stream. This is a DBZ stream.
I knew it was over before we began. Welcome into DBZ Talk. Rocking the Dragon since 1996. That was pretty good. Did you hear that? All right. Let's reel it in. Let's reel it in. Mad Money, thank you so much for that resub. I appreciate you, you beautiful beautiful son of a bitch. I was reading what you said. I can't read and talk at the same time. Episode 22 of End of Eras. When we last had our party, they had returned from their harrowing time on Tirith Island, where they had fought against their enemies. Returning to Waterdeep, they sought to relax and train. Today marks the meeting of the Lord's Alliance, a faction of nobles, merchants, and powers on the western coast of Faerun. But before we get into that, I have a question for my lovely players. Or their characters. And this week's question is, what is your character's favorite pastime?
Okay.
And
I'll give you time to think.
Torture is an option,
Just shut the fuck up.
especially for Phoebe. We all know.
No! So for Phoebe, while she hasn't really had the chance to, because of all that's going on, I would say that her favorite pastime is, gathering, various herbs and components for her spells. She occasionally, collects honeycombs and all that good stuff. If it's more of an indoor activity, reading, studying, the occasional nap, but yeah, that's what her favorite pastimes are.
All right. I imagine Phoebe is like a house cat but with glasses, because you got to know that that house cat can read.
It's V accurate.
Yeah, yeah. So it's lounging around. It's usually in the sun. It's eating your house plants, and it's reading your books.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Wow.
that's her. That's her.
What kind of cats have you owned?
Don't question me on the cats that I have had.
That's what Java does when nobody's around.
I was gonna say,
Right.
like, Java.
Java always takes the dog ears out of my books, okay? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, alright?
Reading.
It's specious. She demands cat ears, and I'm not for it.
Interesting.
A little aggressive.
Alright, who's next?
I think Ko's favorite pastime is probably drinking, because all of the other things that he does for certain reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no like, I get to chill and relax to do this. It's very specific why he's doing something, like playing music. He doesn't play any of his instruments unless like it's a time of passing or it's specifically to entertain, but he doesn't just do it off on his own. But he does drink a lot. Too much.
We gotta get Ko a hobby.
Yeah, he's a war veteran. Like the only things, and he's not out of the war, so he's just been coping with alcohol and playing music when people die.
Our companions should check on Ko every once in a while. Maybe see how he's doing. Give him a dried out cookie. Oh, bear claw. Yeah.
A bear claw, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he needs some. He hasn't had a moment to actually slow down until more recently, and even then, he still has missions that he's actively working towards accomplishing.
Everywhere he goes, the world's in danger.
Yep. Poor guy.
Thus is the world of Dungeons and Dragons. All right, who's next? Come on,
Amanda,
you
you
two.
look so ready. You look so ready, Amanda. Let's hear it.
You were like, ooh,
Honestly,
Kane loves doing this, and he loves doing
I
this.
He lets us go
don't
to the
know.
brothel.
like, yeah, like, I mean, he likes chilling, but, like, he's just, I don't know, I guess he doesn't really have a hobby or much to do. Kane likes cooking on the side, but he usually likes cooking for other people. And he liked going to the brothel to hang out with other people. And he liked adventuring when they had, like, camp time to chill with other people. So Kane's, like, interests and things that, like, for him mattered was the companionship. It's that downtime for Kane.
Yeah, Kane's definitely a character where idle hands comes into play, so he's always doing something. I'd like to see, if you all survive, of course, what what this party would look like after, there are no more threats in the world. Yes, Kelpie? Yes?
No, I'm gonna reserve it.
Okay.
I'm gonna reserve it. I'm gonna reserve it.
But Kane's cooking, yes, I forgot that was something that you had put into his character. I'd like to see that come up at some point. That's fun. All right, Timon, that leaves you.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you smell what the cane is cooking?
It's smell what the Kane is cooking.
Okay.
Wow.
Temen's interests pertain to a few things. While he does find the studying of various combat techniques and martial arts very intriguing, he also has spent time playing dragon chess with Julius, although his
Oh.
favorite dragon chess partner is no longer around. And one of the things he really took to while he was with his old group was reading through picture books, actually, from all kinds, from everything from fables to children's books to actual historical books because it showed him a view of the world that he had never seen before. And he is limited to what he knows, and reading is not enough for his lack of imagination. So being able to see it really paints an interesting perspective for him.
I like that. That's good for Timon. Yeah. Very, very wholesome. That's a good one to end on. Okay. I'll give you this. I'll give you guys this, alright? What NPC, any NPC, would you like to know their favorite pastime?
Zin.
Ew! No!
It's
I
gotta
wanna
be
know
unanimous.
now.
It's gotta be
Every-
unanimous.
Not Zin!
It's
I
gotta
need
be
to know more about
I
unanimous.
Evan.
need to know.
No, fuck Zin.
I need to know.
The burning questions in my heart about Zin. No, fuck that guy. We left him for dead. Shit.
I need to know.
Nobody cares.
Where did
Nobody
he get that
cares.
cookie?
No.
Does he
Absolutely
bake?
not. Absolutely not.
Does he bake?
I mean, he
Absolutely
gets
not.
baked.
Oh,
Evan.
yeah. Y'all have a ton
Oh.
of suggestions.
Well, everyone wants to know about Evan.
Sebastian. Sebastian or Evan?
Sebastian!
Sebastian.
Ooh,
What does he
Sebastian.
do when he's not cooking for somebody?
Sebastian is constantly watching the house. That's
Everybody-
his thing.
Everybody
Okay.
loves Seb.
All right, you all lit up at Sebastian. So, Sebastian's favorite pastime. Now, this is while the champion's away, since he has become the butler of the estate. Okay.
Smells Kane's pillow.
He's in Kane's underwear drawer.
Oh,
Sorry.
God.
I took away that serious moment.
Yes, while everyone's away and he's not cleaning and taking care of things, Sebastian actually practices calligraphy.
That's elegant as hell.
Yeah. He likes to refine his writing.
The
I
fuck?
wonder why.
He writes demon
To
spells.
write. Exactly. He writes some shit. He be
He
scribing
writes some
spells.
shit.
You think that
He's gonna
until you find
spell.
Sebastian's secret journal and opens up, it just has Kane.
It's a
with
fucking
hearts.
death note.
It's like it's that stalker notebook from Juon where it's got his name written a billion times, like all
Oh my
scratched in.
God.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Champion. My champion.
Pictures of Kane's face with the party's faces cut out and Sebastian's face in
But
them.
Sebastian's are pasted in there.
There's like 6 Sebastians in the picture, and like, what the fuck is
Oh.
this?
Sebastian's fucking burn book, dude.
He's the tree.
Oh, yeah.
He's Phoebe. He's Ko. He's Lemon. He's the
tree.
He's the
gravestone.
tree.
He's every leaf on the tree.
Oh, my god.
Oh. Whew. Also,
Oh,
I
that's when you hear-
apologize.
Won't you leave me alone?
I did get my wisdom teeth taken out on Friday. I'm still recovering from it. So, got a little bit of jaw achiness. So, if I talk weird for a moment, just let me work it out. So, yes. Hopefully we got our sillies out. We are going to come back in now to the next morning. We had left our party at the champion's estate. And this is the dawn of the meeting day for the Lord's Alliance. The day prior, if you recall, the skies were gray. Now, it was not an overcast day. In fact, there were no real clouds to be seen. Just the saturation in hue seemed to be lost from the sky. And today is much the same. Sebastian rings the breakfast bell, anticipating all of you, and welcomes you with a wonderful banquet, as he is to do. Now, as you all are gathered, Sebastian opens a letter that had come that morning. He reads it to you all. It essentially is a reminder of today's meeting to the champion and his companions, and also a formal invitation for all of you into the meeting, for there will be seats for you within the chamber of the Lord's, within the Lord's chamber of Castle Waterdeep. And you are all expected at 10 a.m. So you have a little bit of time before then to prepare yourselves and to eat.
What does Sebastian make this time?
For today's breakfast, he has prepared a large, grand omelet. So we're talking like 24 eggs, maybe more, on a massive platter. It's filled to the brim with vegetables and meats. Steam rises from it, and you see as you cut off a piece for yourself that it has been rolled over several times, creating kind of a swirl of the egg with layers of the meats and cheese within. There's also various fruits and sliced up and some breads. And you notice, actually, something familiar looking. A platter of cookies in the shape of little men. These remind you of the cookies given to you within the Sunless Citadel that had restored your mana before you fought the Mad Druid. These are, in fact, ginger cookies.
How many of them are there?
A baker's dozen.
Normally Phoebe would have some manners, but she's just gonna she's gonna eyeball them, and she's just gonna open her bag and put like 4 in there.
No,
Sebastian
Shane just swiped.
Sebastian slides like one of the platters down and blocks your bag. I will wrap those for you if you would like to take some to go. No need to get crumbs within your bag.
Oh, trust me, there's plenty of crumbs in there already, but it's appreciated. Thank you, Sebastian.
He gets some parchment and wraps 5 cookies for you.
Yes, he's the best. Thanks, Dad.
Oh, I see you really like those cookies, Phoebe.
Yeah, I mean, I have a sweet tooth, so I'm drawn to the sweeter side of things, and it's been a while since I've had a cookie, so I get really excited when I see them.
Oh, please, help yourself to more.
Oh, no. I have plenty, as Sebastian has made sure that I do, so please feel free to, well, I didn't make them, I can't say how much you take, but no, feel free, please.
Don't be shy, take some more. Might I say, it has been a while since the Lord's Alliance has gathered. It is quite an honor that you all get to join in, but I understand the severity of the situation. There's been a buzz in the castle ward today. Lots of grand chariots have arrived. Nobles and warriors from all over Western Faerun. Glad to know that you all will be gathered with them, so that hopefully the future days are less dour. Seems to be magic's at work in these lands.
I mean, the last time we went, we were chased around the halls. So I think if that doesn't happen, it will be a much more enjoyable experience.
I would say so.
Don't worry. All we have to do is support Kane while negotiations and information is exchanged on what to do next.
I'm sure whatever happens behind that magically locked door will be crucial for the champion's input.
Speaking of which, how are you feeling about all of this, King?
We didn't catch any of that. Your mic is all the way over there.
Well, you know me. I love seeing all of these lovely people. I don't know. But I'm glad that you guys can at least come in this time so you can see the nonsense that they all bicker with.
I'd imagine it'd at least be slightly entertaining.
I'm just gonna kind of like, depend.
I am reminded that there were 2 boxes left in your room last night, Kane. One was a green cowl, and the other was a blue scarf. Wrapped in a wonderful gift box and a adorable little note signed by Phoebe with little hearts.
Of course it was. Fucking Phoebe.
Are you wearing your new chic?
Wait, what did you say? It was a blue scarf and a what?
A blue
cowl?
scarf and a green cowl. A cowl that comes over the shoulders and is a hood.
Yeah, I'll wear them. Kay won't be wearing them.
All right. Styling.
I did not pick these out.
It's like when your grandma gives you a sweater.
Oh, Kane, I noticed that you were much more colorful today.
I'm gonna look at Phoebe. Well, yes, I've been lucky enough to get a gift from somebody so generous at this table. I would not pick this out myself, however, I think it suits me. What do you think, Phoebe?
Well, I would say whoever gifted you those garments has very limited taste.
Oh.
Sarah giggles.
Perfect.
I think you look dashing, Kane. You know, I've never seen you in a scarf or hood, let alone both at the same time.
You know, the blue of the scarf really brings the rest of your blueness to the forefront of your persona. And then the green is just there for nice contrast.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite things about me is my blueness, so I'm glad it brings it up.
Yes. I agree.
What time is this meeting, Sebastian?
The letter informed us that it will be happening at 10. He pulls out a timepiece. You have about an hour.
Okay.
Did you guys want to go into town a little early if you needed anything last minute before we go in, or did you want to hang around here?
Perhaps we could all go and get matching scarves.
Oh,
That is a wonderful idea.
how garish.
I do know the shopkeeper. He's a little odd, but he's really easy to bargain with.
Mm-hmm. So I take it you were the one who bought Kane.
No, I mean, so I heard. So I heard. We heard.
So what would you like to do with your... Go ahead, Simon. Go ahead.
Oh, so we can all wear blue scarves to match Kane.
Exactly.
It'd be like
As a show of support.
uniform.
Or a uniform. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. They will know us as the Champions Party.
But King doesn't like the nickname champion, guys.
How about we all just go get scarves, and whatever they look like, they just look like that. And we don't even need to match, but we all can have scarves.
We'll be super edgy.
But I do not need a scarf. I do not get cold.
It's about the aesthetic, Tenman.
What is aesthetic?
It's like... She's just gonna...
I do not understand this.
Oh.
Well,
Style.
Tenman.
It's
Tenman.
It's like
Yes.
I don't know how to... It's just...
I mean, when you look at Kane in his new garments, what does it make you feel?
It makes me feel as though Kane is very cold, for he is wearing a scarf and a cowl.
That's part of it. That's part. Now think about the colors. When you look at the colors, does he look cool with those colors?
I mean, blue is a cool color?
Exactly. Aesthetic.
Wait, no, I feel like you have to clarify.
Kane just slides back. I mean, Cole just slides back. He's just like, yep, aesthetic.
So,
There we go.
blue is cool, and that is aesthetic. Blue aesthetic. Kane, you are aesthetic.
he gets it. He
You
gets
know,
it.
that's not the first time I've heard that, Tim.
Big blue, baby. Big blue.
Big blue. See, the epitome of aesthetic.
Oh God.
Kane.
I will permit you to get scarves if you would like. You can all show up with scarves. It'll be great. They'll talk about it. It'll be in the paper.
I think because I was gifted this out of the blue and she's picking up her cape. I don't necessarily need a scarf, but I could have like a mini one and I would be happy to wrap it around my wrist or something.
I like that. We don't want to overshadow Kane's blue scarf, so we should all tone it down.
So maybe I shouldn't have the cape.
No. I think the cape is fine for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Timmons pulled out his nightcap and put it on.
Aesthetic.
Nice. Crusty old nightcap.
Shit. Cole's gonna look over and just like, God damn it. I thought you got rid of
Aesthetic.
that.
I love that. I love that.
Reference.
What color
is
was
this
it?
nightcap?
I
I don't remember.
I thought it was
And it-
I remember it was
green.
crusty.
was it like green or grayish? I don't remember.
Whatever
grayish.
color, it's faded as fuck.
Yeah. Oh God.
God, you
What have we
guys.
done?
Oh.
Today we learned a new word in D&D, aesthetic.
Taught me that one.
Okay. So
To
what
the
are we
market.
doing?
To the market to get some aesthetic.
We are going to shorthand that. Um, Phoebe would like some blue wrist garment.
Yeah, if whatever colors they have, because I don't know if we decided to match or if we're
Mm.
going with our own colors.
That's up to you guys. That's entirely up to you.
Kane, what should we do?
Whatever you want.
I don't know what I want.
I don't know what you want either, so I can't tell you what to do.
The gnome, whose voice I'm not going to try to remember right now, is very excited that you're back. He recognizes the garb that Kane is wearing, remembers you being there, of course, and is tickled pink that you have brought more customers, and is willing to give you a deal.
Excuse me, sir. We are looking for aesthetic.
There you go.
Well, you've come to the perfect shop.
I've heard blue is a very cool color and would make for a great aesthetic.
So what would you like, Timon?
He
sh-
would like a blue scarf or something to wrap around the ring of his great sword.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, a blue scarf. He shows you one that matches Kane's, and he shows you a few others of different, fabric material.
You can get the one that looks like Kane's.
Okay. All right. Matching scarf.
Phoebe's probably going to request something of the same fabric if he has it, but small enough to wrap around Booker's arm.
Okay. He just uses, he actually takes some of the scrap fabric from the scarf that he makes for Temmin, and, he decorates it a little bit. It's not just a piece of fabric, but yeah, he gives you that for Booker. Awesome. Now Booker's fly.
Perfect.
Timon walks over and does a little light fist bump to Booker's hand with the blue scarf.
Nice.
You guys look really good.
Co?
Ko is gonna kind of look at what Phoebe did, and he's gonna ask for a thin, like ribbon-like thinness, so that he can wrap it around the stalk in the neck of his guitar or his lute.
Mm-hmm.
Aesthetic.
There you go. Yeah, and he fashions that for you as well. All right.
Team Big Blue.
So between the three of you, just pull together 10 gold for me.
Easy.
Alright, 10 gold.
Shouldn't be that easy. I just drained you guys.
No, you drained me.
You had the most.
I had the most.
She had the most? Okay, cool.
I just gave you the 10 gold.
Balling.
All right, Temin paid for it. Wonderful. Well. My, would you look at the time? It's nearly 10 o'clock.
Oh my god, that voice. I love it.
I want you to know that voice in particular hurts.
Oh, don't do it
For your
anymore.
service.
We're going to the meeting. To the meeting.
All right. Well, our party makes their way towards the castle ward of Waterdeep, where Castle Waterdeep resides. As you approach, the usual hustle and bustle of the market district is a little bit lighter today, you noticed, and the crowd can be seen gathered round the drawbridge leading to the castle ward and also within the courtyard. Entering by, people definitely recognize the champion and his companions stepping out of your way and regarding you. You also notice somebody mentions your blue little notes of clothing. And he's like, oh man, now we gotta get blue scarves. Yeah, that's gonna be dope. Starting fashion trends.
Trend setting. Big blue.
This is Phoebe's fault.
You
Yes.
see, Kane? You are a leader.
Wow, they're like aesthetic or something.
Wow, that got on really fast.
Fucking 2000.
That's right. Aesthetic.
As I just look at the guards who are passing by.
Oh god. Yes.
As
See?
you as you pass through the portcullis to the castle ward, you notice there in the courtyard of Castle Waterdeep are these beautiful, large white war horses, massive, sturdy carriages, this incredible woodwork and metalwork adorning the sides of it, these graceful wooden carriages being carved with elvish designs, and you notice a creature that you've possibly never seen before. A magnificent griffin. It stands proud, regal. As you're walking through, you actually overhear somebody talking about the griffin. Oh, It's been years since there've been griffin round these parts. The Watch ain't had 'em in, I'd say hundreds of years. Bodes well to see another one in Waterdeep.
Would Phoebe know what type of creature a griffin classifies as?
It's a beast.
It's a beast.
Hold on. Let's pull it up.
I'm so
I
sorry.
don't think it's anything. Unfortunately, I don't think it's anything like. Griffin. Actually, it is a monstrosity.
Aw, that's disappointing. Phoebe's just gonna stare at it with like the biggest eyes ever.
It is quite regal, and in fact, it has a saddle on its back. It's adorned with these rich lavender tapestries. Just a magnificent creature. And, you know, as wonderful as it is on its own, every creature and vehicle here just exudes wealth and power. Members of the Watch recognize you as you approach. Oh, yes, we've been waiting for you. Please follow us, and we will see to it that you enter in so they can begin. You follow them back through into Castle Waterdeep and towards the massive door to the Lord's Chamber. Now, unlike last time, you are led... So you are led through the door. The other three of you did not accompany Kane last time, so I will re-detail the interior. It is a massive cylindrical room, and as it towers upward, there are jut-outs where there are small alcoves with seats, and this is where each council member would reside during the meeting. There is also a spiraling interior where a walkway is held. And you didn't notice it when you were here before, Kane, but you are led to a door that takes you into this system of stairways. You are all brought up to a section in the top, and you are all sitting within 5-10 feet of each other in your alcoves. You notice that there are others in attendance. 12 in total, excluding yourselves, which would be 16.
In the same alcove or just all together?
In accumulation, there are 16 people here. Or are you asking where you guys are?
Yeah, where we are.
You guys...
The whole room is only 16 people.
In the whole room, there's only 16 people. There are many vacant seats, and you are all in your own individual seats, but you're in, like, the same section. So, like, if you guys want to, you know, side banter with each other, you can. But you're
Side
like
banter.
you're like reaching across, you know.
Right, I wasn't sure if like it's like a movie theater, like you're way over there, bro, like type of thing.
Kind
Is
of.
Kane with us? Are
Yeah,
we all?
you're all there.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like lean over in his direction. Is it usually this empty? Hear me?
Since the attack, yeah, it's pretty empty. They all turned on each other, and who knows who died.
Well then, are you familiar with any of these faces in particular?
Yes. Well, are they unveiled? The council's not unveiled, right? Or is it just the new people?
Correct. So you
Oh, yeah, that's
recognize, yes, to remind you, the Lords
Yeah.
of Waterdeep specifically are all secretive members. Only the
Mhm.
Open Lord is known. Leyrol Silverhand is the current Open Lord, and she is in attendance. She takes the head seat. If you were to look at the engravings on the walls, even though it's a cylindrical room, they do kind of come together to this one seat that she's at. But there are 4 other Lords of Waterdeep with their head dresses on. But, Kane, last time you were here, there were at least a dozen members of the Lords.
Is Durnan in there?
Durnan is in there. So Leyrol and Durnan are the 2 faces that you recognize. The others are wearing different armors and symbols of different lands. And I will describe them all to you in but a moment.
Do you think he's mad that we didn't go back after our trip on the island?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Dagult? Neverember?
Dagult, the Neverember dude.
No,
She would
Durnan is the
totally-
barkeep.
She would totally mix them up.
We'll roll with it. We'll
Dagult.
roll with it.
She would totally mix them up.
For your information, Neverember is not in attendance. Even though you specifically went to Neverwinter in order to get him on your side. But again, we'll get to that. Alright. So, the massive doors of the Lord's chamber close, and you hear the magic seal. Leyrol stands in her seat and raises a hand. Good morn to you all. I welcome you to this meeting of the Lord's Alliance. In attendance today, we have 5 of the Lords of Waterdeep. We are also in attendance today with various members from across our alliance. She then gestures to several people as she introduces them. We have Grand Duke Older Ravengard, Marshal of the Flaming Fists, one of the Council of 4 within Baldur's Gate. You see a stately, dark-skinned man. He wears armor emblazoned with an orange flaming fist on the pauldron. He bows his head as he is called. Roran Stonehammer, High Priest within the Hall of Moradin's Hammer. A dwarf, his long beard braided and knotted several times to accommodate its great length. He wears a heavy robe, Moradin's hammer on the front of it, and he has appears to be a crafted mithril helm on his head. He raises a fist. Savra Bellabranta, from the Order of the Gauntlet. Her ties are great here within Waterdeep, and we have very much appreciated her aid since the attack. You see a noble woman, a sword at her hip, finery. She's adorned with finery and gems. Orst Namble, from the Order of the Companions. You see a human man in paladin garb. The Order of the Companions symbol, the sun and moon, on him. Battlemaster Sorry. Quentin, and the man finishes her statement. Quentin Auburn, Purple Dragon of Cormia. Yes, standing in for Queen Raedra Obarskia today. You hear a couple of murmurs. And we have Zale, a tall, elven man, long, slick black hair, pulled back, a heavy brow. The last rider of the Order of the Blue Moon, faithful Mistra followers. He salutes her in turn. And my dearest sister, Alustriel Silverhand, from Silvery Moon. And you see another gorgeous woman, just like Leyrol. A silver robe on her. The symbol of Mistra on her robe, just as it is on Leyrol's. The Battlemaster from Cormyr, Quentin Auburn, he makes a salute. Queen Oberskir sends her regards, as she is not able to attend his meeting. The man from the Companions choughs. No wonder, since the last great King Ervil perished against the Sembians, the green-horned queen has been to her neck in political issues. I will have you hold your tongue, sir. That is enough. We are not here to fight each other. So yes, aside from you four, there are 12 in attendance. They all
You're right,
continue.
Carl.
Go ahead.
It is quite entertaining. While they squabble.
Don't worry, when we pipe up, they're really gonna start yelling.
Oh, that is not yelling?
Leyrol then continues. I do wish that this meeting could have been during a better time. However, I know that you all are aware of the dire threat that is mobilizing within Western Faerun, the Zentarim. There's a small change in the air, as the name is stated, and everyone is reminded of why they're in attendance today. We are unsure how or where they have obtained the power they now hold, but their actions have been swift, unpredictable, and ruthless. The dwarf, introduced as Stonehammer, speaks up. Aye! They've been tearing down statues and monasteries around the Sunset Mountains. Leyrol nods her head. Yes, it seems they have reignited the flames upon Darkhold. Now, Quentin, the Battlemaster, speaks up once again. If the Zentarim had re-emerged within Darkhold, Cormyr would have known of it. He then slams his fist on his chair. Leyrol holds her hand again. No one is pointing fingers, Battlemaster. Please, be calm. You notice a few side-eyes glances fall upon the knight as he regains his posture. What Roran states is true. We've had reports from the Green Fields to the Serpent Hills that the Zentarim have been tearing down sacred monuments. This may be why the gods have broken their long silence, returning to us in their time of need. The dwarf speaks up again. Aye! Moradin has been felt amongst us once again. Yes, we all have felt the gracings of our gods again. It is welcome, but again, I wish that the times were better. The paladin Orst speaks. Yes, we've all seen their recent activities. Some of us have been more successful at stopping them than others. But what purpose do they have towards diminishing the worshipping of gods? The Zentarim have not been a particularly religious group in the past, despite their allegiances towards Bane. Our not knowing troubles me. Our remaining informants have told us of a change in power within the Zentarim. It was until a few months ago that they were still following the command of Fazul. Following the utterance of this name, you feel this otherworldly chill enter the chamber. The dwarf spits. But now it seems they serve one named Rexiva. None know of this new leader's origin, nor of his designs for the Zentarim. Even with Mistress' great divination back with me, I can only glean so much. The Duke, older, of the Flaming Fists, shakes his head. We could never take Fazul down. His connections to dark magics and his devout worship to Bane made him a perilous enemy. It would be foolish to assume he stepped aside willingly. Leroy nods. Then we must treat this Rexiva as the threat he poses. And as of now, it appears his goal is to diminish the power of the gods. But I think, thanks to the efforts of our new champion and his companions, Leroy motions to all of you. You notice that there are some nods of approval and a few words of awe at the confirmation that there is indeed a new champion of Waterdeep. Temin, you notice that the tall elf with the slick black hair, Zale, is holding his gaze on you longer than the rest. You in particular. They had been gathering information for us in the past weeks since the attack on our city. Most recently, they faced our enemy atop Tirith Island. A few of them turn to look at you all. Tirith Island? There ain't nothing but mysteries there.
I stand up.
A now crumbled tower. And a marker for the fallen elves of Tirith Island.
Elves on Tirith Island?
Yes. They were protecting a stone that could pull the life out of another creature. And it seems that whoever had sent the Zentarim wished for its power.
Wait. You're saying there's some magical item that was killing elves on Tirith Island? And now the enemy has it? Leroy, what is happening here? Leroy gestures back to you.
Correction, sir. It seemed prior to the Zentarim getting there, the elves might have actually been at peace. Like Temin stated, they were watching over the orb, not being killed by it. The Zentarim are what led to their deaths.
Leroy nods her head. Yes. There was only one survivor. The tower which the island had its name had crumbled. And the only elf left, fortunately, is here with us now. You see a hooded figure stands from a seat near the bottom of this chamber. He removes his hood, and you recognize the old elven man that you did, in fact, save from being brutally destroyed by Ardea. His eyes are even more sunken than they were that day. There is a great weight upon his shoulders, and he wrings his aged hands. He looks up at everyone in attendance. Your enemy is not known by me, nor by my order. I have lived hundreds of lives atop our tower, protecting the life that fills Faerun each day in silent secrecy. I do not know how they learned of it. I do not know how they bested us so swiftly. You see his face falls further into sorrow as he recounts the bloody scene atop the tower. He leans over on the railing of his alcove. I am the last of my sect, an order of pacifists that have guarded the god stones since time was created. You hear some confusion from the attendees. 4 gods. 4 ancient gods created our world of Toril. Their ability shaping the lands, filling the seas and filling our lungs, securing our minds. It was the passing of time that made them give up their powers, filling 4 grand stones with their purity. There are sounds of disbelief as he tells his tale. The stone my brothers, sisters, and I protected was the stone of life and of death, capable of immense power in any hands. It could cause devastation upon all of creation. They cock their heads, furrowing their brows. A few of them look at Leiral in confusion. She shakes her head and gestures for him to continue. There are only 2 stones now. After the unification of the gods of life and death, 2 stones became one, the one such stone we protected. The threat. They knew. This threat knew of this stone, and if they knew of this stone, then they know of the others. We must not rest until we can guarantee the safety of all of creation. The dwarf speaks up. And where are the other 2 stones? I know not of its exact location. I've never been myself. Such ages ago. Deep within the sea, torn from the skies. That is all I know. It looks as if the weight that has been pushing on him becomes too much, and he falls back into his seat. A guard comes and tends to him. The warrior from the Order of the Companions speaks up. If we're to believe what he says, then why haven't they used this life and death stone yet? Why not make some grand show of power? Force us all into submission?
I'm literally shaking my head with my arms crossed, like unamused by him.
The way I see it, and he leans back, if we had some magical godstone that may or may not exist, and it had the ability to just create and destroy life, there would be no fighting that, right? Am I wrong in saying so? The dwarf shakes his head. Clearly they've a plan. Something sinister. Yeah, I'm just saying, we have the words of a clearly deranged old man here.
And I'm just going to say that I can lunge across this table and kill you right now without a goddamn stone in my pocket. They can cause death and destruction plenty without a fucking stone. That stone is powerful in its own right. Whether you understand it or not, you aren't on that tower.
He nods. You're right. I wasn't there.
Life and death. The stone can kill, but we can also kill each other without a fucking stone. But can you bring back life? I sure as hell can't. I don't give a shit about all this magic stuff, and I think it's a joke as well. But let me tell you right now, this bullshit that these guys are blowing up towns over and killing innocent civilians and just mass murdering races and cultures for whatever they think they're gonna accomplish, they have a plan that we don't know. And those stones, we don't know where they are. But does anybody know what the other stones are? What do they do?
You see, everyone shakes their heads. The Grand Duke from Baldur's Gate speaks up. I will admit I've not heard of any such stones, not even of 4 original gods.
You know what's great? Then that means these guys down here were doing their goddamn job.
I'm not
So maybe
discrediting anybody. I'm simply stating that I do not know the power of these other stones. I do understand that this situation appears quite dire, if this is indeed true. I understand that many lives are at stake here. I have fought plenty of battles to rescue many lives, taking those which were necessary. I admire your fire and furiosity, champion. And I think some of us should possibly think before opening their mouths. The human from the Order of the Companions sits back and choughs. Leyrol then speaks back up. In the conversations I had with the seer down there, the stones were ones that, yes, life and death. There were also stones of... There was also a stone of land, and I believe a stone of time. And he's right. If they have this stone, this one of life and death, that is quite possibly the worst that they could have. What was it he had said? A deep sea? Yes, deep sea torn from the sky. The knight from Cormyr speaks up. Perhaps he speaks of the sea of fallen stars. You hear a few nods and agreement. That must be it. Well, good luck getting in there. Pirate Isles are in the center of it. They've held it down for many years. If there's any gem of worth there, they would definitely have had it already.
Could you perhaps elaborate on what exactly that place is?
The Pirate Isles?
Yes, why is it something that you seem so certain about the pirates having?
Well, in our battles with Sembia, the Pirate Isles have been, easily swayed by coin, as I'm sure you could imagine. Our battles with them have been annoying, especially in the state of treaties. Regardless, their greed is second only to their bloodlust and cunning. So if there was anything to be found in the Sea of Fallen Stars, I'm certain that they would have it. And since we are not being ruled by pirates right now, I'm sure that is not the case.
Let's see.
The last rider of the Order of the Blue Moon stands from his seat, his long black hair going past his waist. He speaks with a clear, soft voice that betrays his physicality, and he looks at Temmin. We are forgetting the most current of events. A massive army has appeared in the Sunset Mountains. An army of magicked armor, brought to life with swirling green energies. These enemies appear very similar to the ones seen during the attack on Waterdeep, and very similar to the one within this very room. You notice others in the room now follow his gaze up towards Temmin.
I walk right to the railing of like the thing, and I stand in front.
And what is it that you mean to say?
I mean to say that you are unique. I cannot say I have seen anything quite like you. You've been traveling with this group long?
They are my trusted companions.
And I do not doubt that. But are you not automaton?
I am Warforged A4 of the East Wind Battalion, served under Commander Julius. My name is Temmin. If you mean to ask me if I am an automaton, then yes. The A4 stands for fourth generation automaton.
And where is it you hail from, Temmin?
I do not remember.
And what of the other that you had fought here in this very city? The same reported to have been fought on Tirith Island, no?
Yes.
Do you hail from where he does?
I do not know. I do not remember my own creator. Nor
So-
would I know his.
the knight from the Order of the Companions speaks up again. So, is it just lucky for us that he's not killing people in the streets, or...
You speak as if you know the will of the Warforged.
I know what I've seen. I know what I've heard. I know that there are members of the Zentarim that are out slaughtering people, destroying monasteries, and there are these magicked armors that are accompanying them.
Evie's gonna stand in her chair and then slowly make her way onto Temin's shoulders, and she's gonna cast Thaumaturge so that her voice carries a little bit farther because she's so small. Excuse me, sir. I haven't been journeying long, but I've been journeying enough to know that I'm pretty sure humans are the ones who have committed more atrocities than Temin's kind has, as far as our records go back. So I don't think you have a lot of room to be standing and making your accusations. Temin is different. Temin is our friend, and Temin errs on the side of good. He is not what ever attacked this town, and he is not what attacked us on that tower.
Do you at least have any information for us?
Perhaps I could elaborate a little bit on Warforged. I come from a world where they are a common sight. Their name, their presence means a lot. And it seems like you all, or at least this world, are unfamiliar with their existence. They, back home, were created to be tools of destruction. And, well, in regards to this one over here, he is not such a thing. He is capable of emitting emotions and thoughts on a high level that I have yet to see in other Warforged. So much so that sometimes it's very easy to forget that he is such a being. But anyways, the fact of the matter is Temin is one of us, and he's not something for you to be concerned about. Your concerns lie with the army.
And I'm going to make a note here. If we're going to talk about luck, it's lucky for you that I don't bite your throat out, for one. Two, Temin here is capable of great things, including fighting your enemy and taking care of your bullshit. So before you start talking trash to this Warforged that is one of the bravest and most capable creatures I've ever come across, maybe you should watch your tongue.
Leral, that is twice now that your dog has threatened my life.
I can make it a third. We can keep going, buddy. And
I'm gonna touch Kane on the arm.
Don't you dare call Kane a dog. He
The
is your champion.
I am not of Waterdeep.
It doesn't matter where you are or where you're from. We don't care. We, along with Kane, have taken on the responsibility of aiding the citizens of Waterdeep. And like it or not, you're going to have to deal with that. And we will not tolerate anything less than respect. We have sacrificed enough already.
The dwarf laughs. You hear that, Orst? You better take a seat before the companions lose another one.
How far away is he?
The dwarf?
Yeah.
He's on the other side.
How far?
Okay. You didn't tell me the distance, DM. I asked how far, not weird.
Can I just
No, so I'm joking.
a quick clear up? Which mouthy bastard, which fraction is this guy from?
So to
The co-
recap,
Yeah.
we have from Baldur's Gate the strapping, dark-skinned badass Grand Duke Older Ravengard.
Mm-hmm.
We have the dwarf Rorin Stonehammer. We have Savra Bellabranta, who has not spoken yet, who is a noble woman of Waterdeep descent.
Mm-hmm.
She is from the Order of the Gauntlet. We have Orst Namble, a rather unaspiring-looking human man with just paladin garb. He's been the mouthy one.
Oh, okay, good.
We have... So, the dwarf, Stonehammer, just called out Orst and told him to watch himself before the companions lose another paladin. We have Battlemaster Quentin Auburn, who is a purple dragon knight from Cormyr, filling in for Queen Raedra. Zale, who is the last rider of the Order of the Blue Moon, who is the long, black-haired elf. And then Illustrial Silverhand, who is Leyral's sister, who also has not spoken yet.
I just wanted a clear understanding of who is the mouthy guy. So it's the human guy. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yep. Yeah, so the dwarf laughs at him, and then his face grows serious, and he looks at Yuko. So where is it you come from? That these are commonplace.
A land known as Eberron.
I've not heard of this land. He kind of looks around and everybody else.
Figured you won't. There was one person who, while also wasn't familiar with the land, happened to be assisting me in figuring out why I'm here, and possibly why these Warforged have come to the land as well. But he is gone.
I see. So what is it you can tell us about these Warforged? Your companion, Temin, here, you say that he is very much like you or I. Personality, soul. And he does fit the bill, I would... If it were not for the metal moving on his face, I would think he was a person in armor.
Exactly. My people's understanding, and most people's understanding in my world, is that the Warforged were created with a sole purpose, and that was war. Yes, they might have their specifications and such, but if you think of it as a set of protocols or commands, programming, if you will, they're created with a designated purpose. And that usually lends itself towards war and destruction, which I'm assuming you all are becoming more and more aware of since the army has continued to march.
Aye. Zale, how many was it you had said you had seen? A large amount. They do not rest.
More than anything, a Warforged, as far as I know, has to have been created by someone or multiple people. And, well, we don't exactly know who created them, and we still don't know their prerogative. So that should be on the agenda to figure out. In my opinion, that is. Because as much as it pains me to say, it'd be very, very hard to take down a Warforged believe me, I've tried. He kind of like side-eye glance at Temin, given our recent sparring. So the best tactic, if you will, would be to take down the person who created them and hope it would sever any orders that the machines are following. Sorry.
Older nods his head. So, we have an army of unstopping, killing machines. And we don't know how they got here, or even how you got here from Eberron. We have magic stones now that we have become aware of, that have the capability of changing and destroying our entire existence. The gods have returned to us, but it seems only because they are in danger. We know that their power is drawn from their worship, and while the gods have been silent, we have still been worshipping. With the destruction of monasteries and statues, and the killing of their followers, Leyrol, is there nothing else that our spies have gotten from the Zentarim? Leyrol shakes her head. Unfortunately, the last information we were able to get was that there was a new leader. And that was over a month ago, before the attack on Waterdeep. We've not had any correspondence with any of them, and I fear they're lost. We know nothing of these Warforged. All I know is of Temin, and I can vouch for his sincerity, and of that other one that had attacked us, the enemy. There is a difference in their presence, and unfortunately you will all come to know this. We must establish a plan, then. We know that they are within Darkhold, for the fires are relit. You hear another grunt from Quentin, from Cormyr. I've told you, Darkhold is still dark. We have eyes all over the mountain range. We would have known if the Zentarim had re-emerged in their stronghold. Has anyone checked? Have you had anyone there recently? If you cannot verify that for me, then what am I to go by? We must determine where they are. We must find out why they are doing this, what their plan is. And we must send somebody to the Sea of Fallen Stars. We have to determine whether or not there is a stone there, and whether or not we can protect it. I will continue to commune with our friend here for as long as he can. With the power of Mystra, I've been able to keep him alive, but his soul and spirit are ancient. Even at this moment, I feel death pulling him from me. She drops her head, and then stands. You have all been brought here because we are an alliance, an allegiance towards the goodness and purity of Faerun. And some of you decide to bicker and squabble and make excuses. And that is not why we are here. And now, at this time, more than any other, do not turn your back on us, on your fellow men and women and children. You stand as an example of the companions, as the purple dragons from Cormia. I am so grateful the gods are back with us, for hopefully they can show us some guidance in these times. I am calling a recess for now. And when we come back, we can determine a plan for what we must do next. She then leaves her alcove.
Phoebe's gonna jump back into her seat and off of 10-minute shoulders.
You may do whatever you'd like.
I'm gonna lean into Temin and Co. All right, let's take a vote. That loser can go to the Sea of Fallen Stars.
Fine by me.
He rode in on a fancy chariot, right? He wants to do fucking something like run his mouth. Make him run out there.
With all the scary pirates. The
Without
annoying the pirates.
They do
without
not seem
hearing
so
any
bad.
of that. Oh. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like,
Oh, they did not seem so bad.
Hmm.
They like to play that game where we threw the cannonball.
Pirates. He's talking about the pirates, Phoebe.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't the pirates I was really worried about. It was more that guy getting his fucking due diligence.
No,
Fucking
they
stupid.
were-
I'm just gonna be mumbling under my breath.
You know, I hadn't thought about it before, but an army the size that they're describing of Warforged simply couldn't have been made unnoticed. And they seem to have been marching in from a particular direction. So why hasn't somebody checked the first sighting?
From behind you, a voice speaks up, almost startling you. And the tall elf stands there, Zale. I've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it was Mistra that had called me to the very spot. It was when she had broken her silence, it was the first thing she told me. Sunset Mountains, Darkhold. And yes, I can tell you, the fires are relit on Darkhold. The evil within has been stirring. And this army of Warforged, as you call them, have already passed the sword. They seem to have marched from the northern deserts. That would be Anorok.
Do you not have allies in Anorok?
The Lord's Alliance does not have allies in Anorok. The Lord's Alliance reach ends where green meets sand. Though I'm certain that a threat great enough would be able to join alliances. Regardless of that fact, this army is moving unstoppable. They have sacked Hill's Edge, Scornabel, Triel. They may
Forgive
very
me.
well be at El Turel at this point.
I'm not familiar with any of those locations, but based off of geographical standing, could you tell me, are they moving in the same direction?
West. There is a road that they seem to be following. It heads straight to Baldur's Gate.
Are the leaders of Baldur's Gate aware?
They will be.
That's good to know. Who are you again? I don't mean to be rude.
Zale. He extends his hand.
I'll meet that. Koraktau.
He takes it with a firmness you're not expecting from him.
I will match his firmness.
And he intensifies.
Oh my god. Free the penis.
Am I right? Am I right?
Well,
Firmly grasp
Koraktau, it is my pleasure to make your acquaintance. You are a curious lot. It has been long since Waterdeep had a champion. Leyrall speaks highly of all of you.
Is that your griffin outside?
Yes, I am the last rider of the Blue Moon, unfortunately. The griffins are dying out.
Are you doing something to make sure that they don't? They're really majestic.
They are. And we have tried.
I think Phoebe would like to know what's killing them.
Time. For some reason, they are not able to breed anymore. So all of the griffins we have had are the ones we will only have. Now, as for other locations, I can't speak for that. But the ones that we have raised and trained, he is the only one left. And he is my life partner. When he dies, so do I.
Once we how should I phrase this? Close this meeting or discussion. Would you allow me the opportunity to take notes on your life partner? And if I hear anything, I can relay information to you that could possibly help with your efforts.
Certainly.
Thank you.
But you would have to ask nicely.
I don't know how to ask any other way.
Good. Balisi does not like rudeness.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, what was their name?
Balisi.
That is beautiful, thank you. She's gonna open up a whole new page in her book and she's just gonna start a whole Balisi section.
Nice.
Sorry to have interrupted you. I just had information that seemed it would help in your conversation. But as you were saying, for them to have created this army, now they created it, yes?
Yes. Though I'm unfamiliar with the exact process in which Warforged are created, it is known throughout my land that there is always, or has always been, somebody behind the existence of Warforged. They are created with a purpose. Like I said it. And though it is unlikely we have the time to figure that out, that would have been very useful information as far as figuring out what their purpose is and who created them.
Yes.
But Lives are at stake.
That they are. But for now, I have the birds watching them. Well, the best to all of you. I will see you after the meeting.
Thank you, Zil.
He takes a half bow and departs you.
He's far more pleasant than the other ones.
He's gonna let me look at police.
Aren't you a lucky one?
I'm extremely lucky.
I don't know what a griffin is, but it seems rare.
You didn't see it outside?
Oh no, it was beautiful. I'm just not. I'm not as familiar with its existence, but I believe that it is a rare and beautiful creature.
I've only seen and read about it in books, and I didn't think I was ever going to get to see one. So I'm a little, it's like, I don't know if there's a word for it, but it's
Overjoyed?
we can,
Not good enough?
I mean, we can use that one. I know this is a very serious matter. It's not about this, but I don't know if you know this. I am easily distracted.
It still sucks that those things are running out over there.
I know. I'm gonna do what I can. I don't know if I can do anything, but I'm definitely. We're gonna travel. We're gonna see things. We're gonna meet people. We don't know what can happen.
Yeah, I mean, I knew someone who probably could have helped save those things. Griffins were Evan's favorite creature, so he did a lot of research. I don't know.
It's a shame he's not here.
It really is. I'm glad you feel that way, and I'm gonna pat Phoebe on the back.
And then the door opens and Evan walks in.
Oh my god.
You didn't think you were having this meeting without me, did you? That would be so Evan. Too bad he's dead.
Shut your whore mouth. All right, guys, that's the end of the campaign. We're done here. No reason for us to keep.
Oh my
shit.
god.
Oh shit. The weather probably is fucking with his thing.
Oh, do you think that's what it was? Is it still blustery out?
I'm not sure
I thought he was
where
doing
he's
a
at.
dramatic exit.
But I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Okay. All right. Everybody, take a bathroom break. We'll be right back, and we will have our closing out. Give us like 10 minutes. Thank you, guys. All right, let's come back in. There we go. See, we're all in our right places.
God, that picture.
Unfortunately, due to the storms out here. Yep, due to the storms out here,
His
Temin
aesthetic is showing.
Bullet's internet is down. So we will not have Temin for the rest of this episode. But he's still here, still styling.
Still styling with his aesthetic.
With his aesthetic.
He's so aesthetic right now.
So,
So aesthetic.
10 out of 10 aesthetic.
Yes. So, is
We
there
all took a
anything else
recess.
you would like to do during the recess?
Unless I can punch that guy in the throat, really, I'm fine.
I mean, you can. You can do whatever you want. This is D&D, baby.
Well,
I don't
then.
know if I have time for that. Anybody have time for that?
Suddenly, I don't have time to to rearrange his throat holes.
Oh God.
Okay, listen. That guy's gonna get his, believe me. I won't forget. Kane's not a instant revenge kind of guy. Don't worry. He'll figure it out.
Oh, it'll come around. It'll come around. Okay. Well, you all reconvene. Welcome back, everyone. Now, as I said before, our goal now is to determine what our next steps should be. We have this force that is heading west. We have this stone that is potentially within the Sea of Fallen Stars. And we have the Zentarim within the Darkhold. We know not the power of this Rexiva, nor of the origin of this great force. I think it would be important for us to send aid to Baldur's Gate, as they appear to be heading westward towards the city. Cormyr is also right next to Darkhold, and could also be in grave danger. I know that Cormyr is still in recovery after their battles with Sembia.
I want to lean over to Kane. By any chance, do you think we'd be able to acquire allies from any of these lot? You did say we needed numbers.
These are your allies.
No, I meant like for us to go to war with, like right now, or like when we go fight.
Well, like I said, none of these guys really have armies. We're not built for war. That's why we need everyone.
I see. This is pathetic. Should we bring that up to them now, or?
I would not mention the thieves or the pirates to them at all. That is our card. They do not need their hands in more than they already are touching. We need them to fucking get together for at least 1 minute so that they know the direction that we need to go and they aid us in every way possible.
Zale speaks up. At this point in time, if they do not stop, they will be at Baldur's Gate within a week. Whether or not they already have forces headed to the Sea of Fallen Stars, if they are aware of it, and if they have not already claimed said stone, who knows how much time we have there. The pressing matter does appear to be Baldur's Gate, though fortunately we may have enough time to defend the city and even evacuate its citizens. Older stands. I do believe that this would be my call. And I do ask you all for any aid you can grant us. We have all heard and seen these forces and what they are capable of. We have not seen a force amassed of just them, and I would hate to see the destruction they could wring. Stonehammer stands. With Moradin on your side, I'll be there. Bellabranta stands, speaking for the first time. I have many mercenaries and warrior allies and mages that I have amassed through Faerun. I can see to it that they are all to Baldur's Gate as quick as possible. avoiding that western road. Quentin Auburn, Battlemaster of the Purple Dragon Knights. We have our own problems in Cormia to attend to, Grand Duke. And Leyrol, unfortunately as it is, our watch is spread thin in the city. It is during this time that crime does rise. I do wish that Dagalt had joined us in this meeting. I know that he has amassed several forces across Faerun, but their aim is treasure. Perhaps we could reach back out to him and see if we could pay for some forces to aid us in Baldur's Gate. Only time will tell. Older nods his head. I appreciate any support you all can lend. We can go over the details afterwards. A few people look over at Orst of the companions. And he troughs back. What are we gonna do? Alustria, Silverhand, sister of Leyrol, one of the 7 sisters, of which there are now only 2 remaining, and all of them chosen of Mistra, stands. Sister, as it has been long since I have seen you, the weave in Silvery Moon has been weakened. And through it we have glimpsed terrible things to the east. If there is danger at the Sea of Fallen Stars, perhaps we have seen it there, and perhaps we could look back into it. Maybe we can make a more intelligent decision after divining with Mistra. Leyrol nods her head. Perhaps you're right. Then as it is now, we will try and amass forces for Baldur's Gate. We will stand steadfast and protect your citizens, and we will face off this enemy as they come. The city has massive walls and has seen sieges. And maybe through this we can learn something of our enemy. Zale holds his head and then holds up his hand. Wait. They've stopped. You see his eyes are glazed over, as if his sight is elsewhere. Yes, I see them now. They're outside El Turel. They have not sacked the city. I'm not sure what it is they're waiting for, but they have stopped. Well, regardless, time is of the essence. Perhaps we will divine some more to see why it is. Zale, please keep your eyes on them. All of you are guests here in Waterdeep. You will find accommodations already set for you, as custom. And Castle Waterdeep is open to you all. I will adjourn this meeting on this one notion. If you are not seeking to lend aid within this allyship, then you may count yourself out of the Lord's Alliance. Orst Namble stands, readjusts his chest plate, and looks at everybody in the room. Stones. And machines. You all sound like fools. The companions have better things to do than dawdle with all of you. And I will see myself out, Leroy. Thank you. Well, that wasn't what I was insinuating, but oh well. This will adjourn this meeting of the Lord's Alliance. And may Orst Namble be cast from our ranks. And the meeting is adjourned. All right, my heroes. Actually, Leroy turns to all of you. Champion and companions, if you would speak with me. She then motions you follow her out of the chamber and through the castle to the war room of Castle Waterdeep. There's been much asked of you, Kane. You seem to be suiting your position well.
I don't know where you're going with this, but go on.
I appreciate your boldness against adversity. Orst has always been a spineless one. It's just refreshing to see someone bite back.
Well, if you give me his place of residence, I can do a lot more than bite back.
That won't be necessary. I'm certain when danger is staring him in the face, he'll come crawling back, begging for assistance.
And you can send him to my residence, and we'll see how that goes.
I will keep that in mind. Another woman appears. Elistriel, her sister. My sister and I are chosens of Mystra. We are all that remains of our 7 siblings. I had thought Elistriel gone after the silence of the gods, but she was in hiding, much as I was for a time. But it has become clear to us now that we need to pool our resources and channel what we can of Mistress power in order to sense what it is our enemies are up to. I guess I should not be coy with the information. Elistriel, what my sister is trying to tell you, Kane, I have seen you before. We have access to magic called the Weave. It is what binds us all. In Silvery Moon is where we practice the teachings of Mystra. And after the time of silence, my sister and I were both given sight. These visions can be of times to come, possibilities, times that have passed. They are rather mysterious. My sight pertained to a massive icy blue dragon that spewed lightning.
Sounds like the wrong guy.
That's fine. Adorned on its neck was an interesting decoration, though.
If you're talking about this scarf, I just got it this morning.
I'm talking about the collar beneath it. The only of its kind. Now, I knew I had to come back to Waterdeep. I had to come out of hiding, because I had seen the collar of the champion. And after speaking with my sister and her informing me of whom it has bound itself with, well, the vision doesn't become clearer, but at least I have a face. Cain, I am sorry to tell you this, but in this possibility, you do not survive.
Kane's still smiling.
You're right, sister. He is a brave one. It is not many men that are told that they will perish that do not shrug or do not make any motion.
Oh, excuse me. I like to think it's because men have no reason to fear death if they put their faith in themselves and those that accompany them. And I know that wherever Cain goes, I will be there. And I will not let that happen.
That sounds a hell of a lot nicer than what I was going to say.
How exactly does Cain die in this alternate world of sorts?
In my vision, the Grand Dragon, spewing lightning energy from itself, absorbed this ichor of metal and evil and destroyed both, including itself.
So you just don't have to use your breath like you normally don't do. And we should avoid possibly that. Would that work?
I know not. I know only what I've seen. And so far, 2 of the 3 things I have seen have been true. There is a new champion of Waterdeep, and it is a blue dragonborn. I just felt that it was important that you knew this going into this task. However, it should be a boon to you, because you will not die slain by some sword or some brigand. Many have taken these visions as a thought of immortality, for if they can avoid the situation that brings to them their death, then death will not find them.
That's true.
But perhaps it is important for Leyrel to also tell you what her sight brought her.
Yes,
Sister.
please. You can't just leave us on that.
Do you want the good news or the bad news? The bad news is just fine for us. We don't need anything
We
else.
don't need the good news.
Actually, that's fine. Thank you.
We'll be off now.
Leyrel shakes her head. Well, mine was not as certain as my sister believes hers was. I saw a land expansive. It was an arid desert, but across it were these vehicles of machine They were like carriages, but driven by some magical force. They were in the skies as well, I recall. But amongst them, there were these figures, and attached to them were these spiritual demons. And as I saw, I don't know quite how to describe it, but these demons entered into these figures, and then these figures were in a land of lush green. I'm not sure if that pertains to us, but it could be something to look out for in the future. As I said, not as certain, or as concrete, or without any leads whatsoever. But that is what I saw.
In your vision, perhaps, these individuals that the spirits went in to, did their eyes glow?
Yes, I do believe so. Do you know of what this could mean?
Well,
You feel a bubbling within you, Ko, as you begin to ponder the possibility.
if I were to take the moment to focus on that urge, do I feel any different? Does anything happen?
You pause to collect yourself, and you feel Rok'Tau's rage boiling up. And in the back of your mind, you hear the growl. Inspired.
Well, if my hunch is correct, we have possibly an even bigger threat.
Just what we need.
Yeah. I think having Rok'Tau say that kind of just like drops Ko's demeanor a little bit. And, you know, he hasn't been in the same state of mind of just like going after his brethren and home and stuff like that. But this is definitely a reminder that although he has pledged himself to Cain and he wants to help his friends, he still has work to do as well. And he's gonna kind of like breathe in. We should probably handle things as fast as we can. I think what you saw were inspired beings from my world.
So, as you had explained to me before, you're from a place called Eberron, such as our friend Temen here, and these Warforged. And now we have another player, these Inspired, as well. They are villains in your world?
Yes.
This could be the damage to the weave that we had felt, Illustria. Something in our world is broken. Something in the magic here. Something in our reality. We must convene with Mistramore to see what it is that she can feel.
Might I add, from what I've gathered, I've come to be in this place due to an inspired magic or something. So, if you're having visions of them, it is likely they are playing a larger role in the things that are happening here. And possibly have a large role to play with, well, Warforged being here as well.
Any information that you have, whatsoever, we would appreciate a write-up. And if you could deliver that to us, and we can spread it to our allies, that'd be most beneficial.
Will do. Might I request, though, until I get back to you, don't mention the war for, or the inspired, or the vision that you had of them. They, much like myself, can easily blend in with human societies.
Well, we have only brought it up to the champion, whom I trust my life with.
Good.
You know, this city, I have been its bastion for the past 100 years. I have been secretly moving in and out and keeping it safe. Even those within Skullport I have looked after. It is important that allies are made wherever they can, so that we may succeed against the coming darkness. She looks you in the eye with earnest cane. Now, I have much divination to attend to, dear sister. Baldur's Gate. No longer than 1 week's time. Let me know if you shall be there. I bid you adieu. Oh, and Zale might be found in the courtyard. She smiles at you, Phoebe. And then they depart. All right.
I'm gonna look at Ko. She knows. And it wasn't brought up. She knows that we are trying to make allies with people in Skullport. And she didn't bring it up, just like we shouldn't have. We need to get back to Skullport. We need to make allies with them before they make allies with the wrong people, just like the Centaurine.
I agree. So, do you have anything in mind for how to approach it this time around?
I mean, I hate to say it, but we can talk with my friend there and see what he's been.
The talkative one?
Algernon moves parts. Whether I like it or not, we can figure it out. Phoebe.
You really should associate with a better kind of people, Kane.
Listen, I had no choice at the time, and we have no choice now. He's not that bad either. Anyways, Phoebe, Zale wants to talk with you.
About the griffin, I
was
think.
gonna say yes or no. Well, yes and no. He said that I look at Belisi and take notes.
Well, clearly he's already talking because Silverhand knew that you guys were going to be meeting, so apparently he might be excited about you trying to save his griffin.
It definitely seems like they appeared to know a lot. I don't dare deny the visions of the gods, but I am not afraid to defy them, King. I don't care what they saw. I'm gonna rewrite whatever they saw.
I'm with her on this one.
Listen, if you both are scared of me dying, there's no reason to be. I wake up every day with the anticipation that I'm going to get shot in the face with an arrow. So no one needs to worry. And
No.
Is...
That's somebody killing you. This involves you somehow killing yourself.
Yeah, Kane, if you got shot in the face with an arrow, I could just heal you.
And you'd probably deserve it at some point.
All right, listen. What we're talking about now has nothing to do with whether I deserve it or not. And if I go out, that's how I go out. There might be no other option, but we don't need to worry about that now. It seems like we have plenty of time before we have to worry about me blowing up with some steel something, okay?
You didn't even like to use your dragon breath.
True.
So, we're going to figure that out. We'll come back to this.
All right, let's go and see what the Griffin Man wants. All right, let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
The Griffin Man.
Griffin Man!
Oh, the Griffin Man.
Exiting Castle Waterdeep into the courtyard, you see the carriages. Some of them have pulled away, some have been parked, and, the crowd has generally dispersed at this point, except there are still people regaling the Griffin. That is now being lovingly pet by Zale.
The Griffin Man. He's no longer Zale, the Griffin Man.
The Griffin Man's Zale. Phoebe's gonna just cautiously walk up.
The Griffin eyes its head at you. And Zale takes a step back and crosses his arms.
Is there anything I should be aware of? To respect Belisi's boundaries, or
just introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. And she's gonna put Booker. She's gonna sit him on the ground because she knows that he can make people nervous. And she's gonna walk up, and she's just gonna keep her hands to her sides, and she's just gonna look up at Belisi. Hi.
The Griffin turns its head, still eyeing you.
She's just gonna keep sidestepping. She's gonna be like super awkward around it.
So you're like sidestepping around it?
Yeah, she's gonna like.
It's gonna take its steps back and keep you right in front of it.
Oh, okay. So you would prefer that I stay in front of you, huh?
It continues to look at you. It turns its head and starts preening one of its wings.
All right. You see my hands?
It looks at you.
I'm gonna slowly grab my journal from my back. And an apple. She's slowly move the apple toward it.
It eats the apple.
Yes! Oh, yes! Okay. And then she's just gonna start like taking notes on its
right.
like physicality and its behavior and ask Zale questions about it, her, them.
Yeah, he fills you in about griffins and Belisi. You learn that Belisi is old. Do. It's about 60 years old.
It's an old bird.
He tells you about how they are, very honorable creatures, and they bond with one rider, and that's why he calls him his life partner. And part of Zale's oaths as a rider of the Blue Moon means that he and his griffin are one and the same. If one should die, so should the other. That is why their numbers have been dwindling. Belisi is the last... Well, he's the last trained griffin, but he is one of 2 males remaining of the Order of the Blue Moon.
Okay. And you said that they were the only ones of this region that you knew. Do you know if there are any other regions across the continent that might have some as well, or?
I do know that there are griffins typically found in high mountain ranges.
Oh boy, there are a lot of those.
Mostly to the north, though.
Okay, that narrows it down. That's good. Okay. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity. This has been amazing. For many reasons. It's been a pleasure meeting you. And thank you so much for introducing me to Belisi.
Belisi cranes its arms and bows its head. Bows his head.
Phoebe's gonna bow her head as deep as she can.
Thank you for the brevity. The lightheartedness. It's been very serious lately. He then saddles up on Belisi. Until next we meet. Belisi then takes a few galloping steps, stretches his wings, and they soar off into the sky by the bemusement of many an onlooker.
I want a griffin so bad, guys.
Cole's gonna get down and kind of whisper. Then we've got to go to the mountains in the north, right?
Well, we gotta save the world first.
Yeah, that means that Kane can't die because we have to go get your griffin after we save the world.
It's not dying.
Exactly.
Listen, it's fine if I die, but I
No,
can't
it's
die.
not.
Listen, I can't die before I punch that guy in the throat. That's my one goal.
He's gonna scowl.
We're going to get Phoebe's griffin before you die.
No, we can't talk about this right now. We have to go and do stuff.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Oh, yes, we'd like to save the world and go get Griffin.
I would like to die in peace. Just
Roll
like the
me a
vision has
d20
me.
for that.
We just end the campaign right now.
That was almost a nat 1.
Oh,
I got a 9.
A 7.
you did not succeed.
We're getting close, though. We'll roll again next week.
Oh,
Oh, once a week to see when it all ends. Damn, we have to keep playing?
Shit.
what was there anything else you would like? Anyone else you would like to have a conversation with that was in the meeting or anything like that?
You want to go punch that guy in the throat, don't you, Kane?
Mm-hmm.
No, I have other ideas.
What are your other ideas?
I have other ideas.
I think we're good here.
I think
We've got business. Are you good here, Phoebe?
there's nothing I can do. Okay, yeah, no, I'm good.
Are you good here, Timon?
Oh, I think that we are all good.
Here with our scarves on.
Yes, I still have my aesthetic.
We are so aesthetic right now.
We're
I mean, you know, it'd be really cool right now
Blue aesthetic.
if you had a joke.
Oh, you are correct. I have just the thing.
Flawless job.
And Temin pulls out his book of funnies. And oh, I know. What animal helps a druid dye his robe?
Don't know, buddy.
A dire wolf.
Oh,
Ha 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 ha.
we should all go now. We should all just leave.
Man.
Uh,
That was a
Tonight
tough
was
one.
not one of your better nights, so we'll let it slide.
Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps something else is in my mind right now. We love
Kevin,
you, Bullet.
it's like you're not even here, buddy. It's like you're not even here.
I must be far off right now. All right. And with
The
that,
power must be out or something, dude.
His batteries are
my
running low.
brain's
I don't
having
know.
a poor internet connection.
Oh,
I
God.
forgot to turn on Bluetooth.
His cap is interfering with the signal.
Yeah.
That's
It's them 5Gs.
Hashtag
he
bring
did it
back
for the
the real
aesthetic.
Temin.
Oh
Bring
my
back the real
God.
Temin.
Show me the body.
The aesthetic overcame functionality tonight. So there you go.
I think this is the first time I've ever heard, like, seeing the end of an episode without hearing Maxwell will end tonight's episode. It just kind of.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you guys here with us. We came back. You know, we missed a little bit, but we came back strong. We're back in it, ready as ever. Yeah, we got some awesome, crazy shit going on. Lots of
Griffins.
information in this episode. Griffins are a
Aesthetic.
thing. Aesthetic is a thing, you know? Now people are going to be wearing blue scarves all around town. But yes, as Zale flies away and Temin tells another wonderful joke, that is where we are going to end tonight's episode of Fancie's Fables. I should let you all know. Let me come back to the cameras for this.
Oh,
We do have a guest joining us next week.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, a guest.
wait, I'm so excited.
Oh, yes. This will be our third guest in Fancie's Fables. And it's gonna be a rip-roaring time. As you guys know, we like to play with our viewers. And we have some wonderful, amazing people in this community. So I'm excited to see who joins us next week. So tune in. We'll see you
Hell
there.
yeah.
And until then, stay fancy.
What is that?
Stay aesthetic.
What do you mean, what is that?
That's how you upset at him. Though. That's what he's supposed to. He did it. He
What
did
the
it.
fuck?
What do you mean? He did the thing.
Did you get body snatched again?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Who are you?
What do you mean, what is that? It's stay fancy.
That.
What? I'm so confused with her right now.
She is so
Jesus
distracted.
Christ.
Get her out of here, people. Get her out of here.
Yeah, her mind is on the Griffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, keep your secrets.
Yeah.
That's it.